These past few weeks have been pretty stressful. Don't get me wrong, the past couple of years have been pretty stressful, but I'm starting to become more aware of the good things in life. Um, so I wanted to talk a little bit about them. So this is going to be a little bit of a happier post, when I was reading my description, I was like, and sometimes raving. I was like, I don't think I've actually raved about anything yet. It's been a lot of ranting. Um, so, first thing, I am super thankful that disability placards are easy to get in Canada. Um, Scratch that, I don't mean easy, like anyone can get them. I mean, if you have a disability and your doctor is like, person A has a disability, this is their disability, it's pretty easy to get a placard. I'm actually not quite sure if that's true for all provinces. In Prince Edward Island, it is. In Ontario, it is, since they're administered provincially. It might vary. I assume that they use federal laws in order to process them. So I would like to think that they're pretty across the board, across Canada. I don't know that for sure. I really appreciate that provincially you can use disability placards in different provinces. You can actually use them in the States and some European countries, which I think is really cool that we have that reciprocal agreement with each other. Makes life a little bit easier if you're traveling. I went to Ontario. I'm going to back up a couple steps. So before I left for Ontario for Christmas vacation, I shattered a tooth and had to have it extracted. So I've been on prednisone for a year and a half now, and Tecta for a year and a half. I was not aware that Tecta also makes you have bone loss. So that was interesting to learn. I learned it after I shattered my tooth. So a little bit concerned, I guess, especially with it being really icy, especially icy early on this year, about falling. I've passed it a couple times, usually at home. I usually smack my head against the floor. I haven't broken anything. I don't want to say yet. I hope I don't break anything. But I'm thankful for that. I'm a little bit concerned about slipping on ice and bashing my head on cement or pavement. That might not work as well. Or other like weaker limbs like your arms or legs. So super thankful for my placard because it means when it's icy out and I'm in a lot of pain or not feeling stable, I can usually park closer to my destination. Not so much in downtown Charlottetown. They're not the greatest. Ontario was really good though. And parking lots tend to be good, especially like uptown Charlottetown. I've never really had an issue. Actually, usually I can park in non-disability parking spaces, and it's easier than where the disability parking spaces are. But I'm thankful for that. I am super thankful for all of my wonderful friends. I got to see a bunch of them when I was home in Ontario. It's really great to have supportive people. I have a lot of supportive people in PEI too. I think this is the first time I've said where I'm living and where I'm from in any of my videos, but that's fine. But I have a lot of very supportive people in PEI. I have a lot of very supportive people in Ontario. And that really helps, especially when things are difficult. So it's interesting, something I didn't really talk to anybody about is that I'm getting radiation therapy on the 20th. It's funny how the little things are the things that concern me the most. So yes, I'm concerned about thyroid storm, which is apparently really rare, but my body loves really rare things. So I'm actually staying on PTU, which is one of the medications I'm on. I have to stop it a week before I get radiation, but then I start on it again the day after the day after I get radiation. I'm not allowed to be around people for 7 days, and I am supposed to avoid pregnant people and children for a little bit longer than that. There's all these interesting things that you have to do because your body is trying to get rid of the radiation. So you have to like flush the toilet multiple times after you go. And my fiance can't be within, I think, a meter of me for more than 15 minutes a day. I have no concept of length. So I was telling him, I'm like, oh, on the sheet it says that we can be within 4 meters of each other for up to 7 hours a day. Yay, isn't that great? And then he proceeded to show me how much 4 meters is, which is not very short. So in our apartment, he has to be in another room for that to work. Maybe if I'm in the kitchen, far end of the kitchen, he can be in the far end of the living room. But he was like, he's 1.5 meters tall or something. He's 6'7". So he was like, it's like 2 of him, which there doesn't really work in any of our rooms, except maybe the kitchen to the living room. But yeah, the one thing that I don't like the most, and I'm sure I won't if I get thyroid storm. I definitely won't like that. It recommends that I have to wear socks or slippers, and I got 2 new pairs of slippers for Christmas, which I'm very thankful for. I hate socks, so I am the person who wears flip-flops until the bitter end, until like your feet start to get frostbite outside or there's snow on the ground. And as soon as it all melts, I'm back in flip-flops. Yeah, so having to wear socks all the time. I'm not going to wear them when I sleep. I can't do that. But having to like walk around in socks should be interesting. I don't know if I know where all of my socks are to like make that work, but I'll find some, I guess, or I'll wear slippers. It's interesting. I think maybe I'm focused on all of these little weird things because I'm a little bit terrified, but I'm really grateful that I have such a good support system. I'm super grateful that my professors are understanding and my bosses are understanding. I have a distance education course that I'm doing through a university in New Brunswick this semester, and then I'm doing a directed studies course. So the directed studies course we meet on a regular basis. But I was like, I can't really meet on this week because I'm going to be radioactive and I'm not supposed to be near people. And the professor was super understanding of that, probably because she doesn't want radiation. But yeah, I know I often focus on the really shitty, horrible things in life, and I do think that's important. I think if you ignore them, then eventually you get a buildup of them, and it's much harder to deal with. But I also think that if you ignore them, you can't change them, which is really important. So, yes, I focus on the horrible things. Some people might think I focus too much on them. I don't think I do. A friend of mine posted something on Facebook today, and there's a whole thing with women and men telling women that they just need to smile, and it's such a huge piss off, and I don't know if it's even more of a piss off or just continues to be a piss off, but if you have a disability and you feel like shit, having somebody tell you you need to smile is a real big piss off. It takes spoons to smile. I don't think people realize that. So many people are like, oh, it's easier to smile than to frown. I'm like, nope. That's what my face looks like when I don't do anything. Not exercising anything. Not moving muscles. This hurts, especially with my tooth. It takes spoons to smile, and you can't fight demons. You can't fight things that are affecting you if you pretend they're not there. You're just hiding them, and they're going to come back, and probably come back when you don't want them to, or when you're not prepared to deal with them. So at least if you're consciously aware of them, you can deal with them better. So stop telling people they need to smile. I'm not going to say especially people with disabilities, because just stop telling people that they need to smile in general. If people want to frown, let them frown. People don't have to be happy just because you want them to. It's okay to not be happy. And it's okay to be happy too. Just be you. So, I'm not sure this post actually accomplished anything, but I have to go pick somebody up from work. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I will post more when I start my radiation, January 20th. See ya.